Hello, hello, and welcome to the possibly most anticipated game of this tournament, Elite Invite in Leuven, hosting another round of the Open Division games. We have the creme de la creme of the Open Division, the Italians, EUCS La Fotta. Sorry, CUSB no more, BFD this time. What a rookie mistake for me to make straight away from the start. Facing off the Mooncatchers, the locals from Belgium, however, having to make a short trip from Brussels. My name is Rachel Toshnerova, and as always, as the unprofessional, semi-professional, I only have half a clue about the Open Division, as I play, coach, and follow the women's division mostly, but I am sure that all of you watching at home will forgive me for any mistakes, any potential funny things I might say about the boys or lads or men on the field. I will try to restrain from objectifying them too much and comment too much on their athletic appearance and focus solely on their ultimate skills, because that is what we are here for. We are here to bring you the coolest action in the ultimate world this weekend. Elite Invite is underway. Like I said, second round of open games. We have the best teams here on field number 3. It is artificial grass, as you can see on the camera. And let me start with a little bit of history of these two teams. I am sure that most of you are aware, but anyway, just for good order, I have the results of the last 5 matchups between these two teams. Last Elite Invite, that is 2023, Fotta had the upper hand and won over Moon 15-13. Then, of course, we all remember the EUCF semi that became an instant classic. Moon sending down Fotta to play for the third place game 14-13. And of course, this year we have the scores from the spring tour in Padova. Both games won by Mooncatchers, 13-12 and 13-11. And then if we're not counting, not just staying within the EUCF time frame, EUCS game frame, there was Tom's tourney happening last week, and I am sure you were just as excited as us to watch the final and the huge comeback from Fotta to take the win on Universe. So 5 games, 3 went to the Moon and 2 went to La Fotta. And here is the next one, which is going to show us whether Fotta is looking to even out the score or if Moon will just increase the ratio in their favor. So Bologna is starting on white. Luckily, I have the sideline to read the jerseys a little bit. This is, after all, a VO stream, so remote commentary. I am not there on site. I see the picture just the way you can. And will try to do my best to interpret what's happening on the field. Bologna now close to their end zone. And they reel it in. Easy score. Big celebration. First clean hold of the game. They go up 0-1. If you want to follow the results yourself, just head over to the EUF page, hit the little hamburger in the left corner if you're on your mobile phone, and just go to results. You will see all sorts of interesting stats there from the one game so far that each of these teams have had. For Fotta, we have Roger and Gasperini leading the Canadian scoring, 4-4. For Mooncatchers, Benjamin Orth is very much ahead of everyone else with 8 points in total. So far, we've seen so many tight games already across the divisions. It will be a real treat to see how these teams develop and improve throughout the tournament. Lucky for you, we have most of these games streamed, be it on VO or through Alti TV. All games available on Solid Sports, and 1 game per day also released for free on YouTube for your enjoyment. I believe it will be the Jet Set game today. In any case, here's the first point for Moon. We have Yonkers with an inside shot, forehand throw. It will be saved. I think it was indeed Ort with that second effort that saved Moon the possession. Yonkers pivoting and going backwards. 2 defenders on that undercut. But De Luca keeps possession. Another inside throw. A person open in the end zone. They don't take it. You see a lot of switching and different poaches in the open side by La Fotta. Another inside shot, this time not as precise. And it ends up in the hands of the Italian defender. They quickly move the other way. Gatti, I believe, in front of the end zone for an easy score. Wide open receiver, first break. Bologna go up 2-0. Loud sideline for the Italians. Something you just cannot do without at top tournaments where every single element can play a key role. Pull all the way to the end of the end zone. That is some extra yardage that Moon will have to work with this time. We see on the flags in the background that the wind has picked up quite a bit. And Moon having to go upwind for now. Lots of movement around the disc. They finally get it off. Fake the big shot. Nothing there. They swing it across. Müller. Yonkers now We even hear the Moon sideline giving cues as to who's open and who should take the next pass. They switch to a vertical setup, go through the break side. No continuation into the end zone, but that's a lovely big forehand. And I'm afraid caught out of bounds. A little bit of confusing sideline there. And another chance for the Italians to break. Definitely not the beginning of the game Mooncatchers have anticipated. They go for the deep shot straight away. Both players underneath it. Who's going to read it better? Difficult to say with this camera angle. But given that everyone has stopped, there was either a contested catch or a discussion about whether the disc was out. But seeing the disc there at the end of the field, I think the players are discussing whether there has been some contact maybe on the catch. Of course, the AI can only do so much following such big, quick shots. We almost immediately see the Spirit captain getting involved. Either this might have been a result of a previous agreement between the teams, saying that they might involve the Spirit captains quickly, or else some language difficulties. Looks like the disc will go back, meaning that I would bet on a contested foul on the catch. So one more chance for the Italian D-line to add another one to the scoreboard. Venturoli receives the first break pass. Continues straight away. Great rundown by Simonazzi, who centers the disc. It's a nice gainer to Corazza. Simonazzi with a slightly slower backhand, but the receiver there to make the catch. And Bologna now knocking on the doorstep. Fakes the lefty, doesn't take it. Intercepted. I believe that was Arvids. And they carry on with a give and go. That's Bontemps being involved, centering to Arvids. And Bontemps with the score for Mooncatchers, the first one in this game. They finally bring it in. And prevent the very, very dangerous early 2 breaks in a row that Bologna could have gotten in this point. In terms of the games so far, so we've only had 1 open slot in Leuven so far. Bologna quite easily beating the Scottish Alba 15-7. However, Mooncatchers had a slightly more difficult game against Chevron Action Flash, only winning on Universe 15-14. And as I said before, all games are available if you have purchased the either monthly or season-long pass for Solid Sports on the Solid Sport platform. Feel free to engage in the chat there as well. Let me know what fun facts I am missing, or what mistakes I'm making, or how much you love me talking and making this AI stream a bit more lifelike. Here's Fotta. going upwind. Kais Mate, one of the youngest ones on the squad, the French import. But he has played with Bologna already in their junior Red Bulls program. As mentioned before, last weekend, second generation Frisbee player. Nothing like a proud dad on the sideline. Casanelli. Centering to Coppi. Switch is recognized early and La Fotta keeps moving. Quick give and goes. Open players signaling their availability. A slide on the catch. But Bologna knocking on the doorstep. They find the open player. Easy score. Both of these teams bringing quite large rosters, if not to this tournament, then to the EUCS series in general. About 24 players on the Mooncatchers side and full 26 people on the Italian one. And here is La Fotta running down the pole. It hangs nicely, but you can see that it did go quite a bit back into the field. A bit of a wall setup or some sagging on the handlers. Blasman moves the disc towards the center of the field. Immediately a break side throw. Lovely deep shot, but it will go out of bounds. It looked nice. It hung there, but just a bit too much butter on that biscuit. It goes out the back. And the Moon offense just not clicking as much as they would like to. Fotta immediately going deep. Who's going to get there first? It is Osri. And one more pass, and with two throws, they cross the entire field. And that's another break for La Fotta. A great start of the first half for them. 4-1 currently the score in this game. Of course, there are other open games happening around on the other fields. So if you don't want to get any spoilers, maybe mute me for a bit. Clapham currently winning over Gentle 4-0. Wall City up 4-3 over Jet Set. And Alba losing to Chevron 4-2. And another pull lands almost in the opposing end zone. Yonkers. Zony look from La Fotta, making sure they practice all their tactics. One can almost barely talk about scouting at this stage, given how many times these two teams will play each other throughout the season. be it for ranking or not. But this time Moon recognizes the open space really well. But a miscommunication on the throw into the end zone. You can see the despair and awe from the thrower, where he thought this was so clear and so obvious, and despite the layout, the disc lands on the ground once more. Is Fotta gonna go for another deep shot straight away? Difficult to say. It is an upwind direction. A bit stuck on options. Will they get it off? They do eventually. Barsazi gives the disc back to Hillers and heads to the D space. Now Venturoli. Almost a falling inside flick to finally gain some yards for the Italian D-line. Wide swing. Great layout to save the possession. And a deep shot finally opens up. Is Barsazi there? Yes, he is. Another break for La Fotta. 5-1. What a strong start for the Italians. Incredible stuff. This does not look anything like the past games that we have seen, where mostly we're just waiting for a break in the game to occur. This just seems like Moon have just not been ready for this kind of start, this kind of energy, and it is only understandable that they will call a timeout and take a bit of a break to recuperate. So while the teams huddle up, I'll take a short break behind the mic myself. So back from the first timeout of the game, second slot for the open division, the two matadors, shall I say, of the open division. The Mooncatchers from Brussels and La Fotta from Bologna have their first head-to-head at Elite Invite 2024. Bologna with a great start of this game. Going on a run there. 3 breaks already at least. They're 4-1 over their Belgian counterparts. Looks like the pull has gone out of bounds, given the cool and calm setup of the players on the field. It will be a host stack by the looks of it for Moon. They're looking for the mark for the brick. Might have to count the steps there. They go in between the handlers. Quick put down the line. Contest it, but caught nonetheless. Yonkers gets it in the middle. Slips on the artificial grass. Goes through the break side to Ort with a low release forehand. Straight into the ground, an uncharacteristic error. Bologna wastes no time. Dognetti. Great sliding grab by Cantu. Comirato trying for the give and go. He gets it again. And again, the Italian D-line moving way too easily. The defense just unable to set up on time, but that's a high throw. I don't know if Comirato wanted that one exactly. It is a throw down win, so you need to make sure that you put just the right amount of strength and power in it. But this was quite an overthrow. Nonetheless, Mooncatchers once more with a full field to go. This time they start even further as the pull landed out of bounds, and it was the brick mark last time. Yonkers picks up. Great bid on defense, but Moon keep possession. They wind up, put up a deep shot into space. Lots of bodies underneath it. Who's going to read it better? It is Moon. And an easy put into the end zone for the last one. I should probably have recognized the person catching that. And I would almost think it was Desmarais. But if not, then he's getting a bit of extra credit for no reason, which is fine. Because that was a great grab under pressure. So Mooncatchers staying alive. The timeout clearly helped put their heads or put their focus back together, so to speak. But they will now have to work that much harder to make up some of the point difference and score some breaks. I'm sure their D-line is more than happy to finally show what they've got in them. If you're hearing the field audio, you might be enjoying some "What's up?" from the sideline. Just showing that this game surely will have drawn some attention also among the participants of the tournament itself, not just from an audience watching from home. There's Bologna's O-line. Quick upline pass. Deep shot not taken by Laffi. Great layout bid. There will be a short discussion whether this was out or not. Great save anyway by Fernando Vozzi. Arvids now replaying the situation from what he saw in his head. Of course, I still would tend to call him Orlovsky's, which is no longer the case. I believe that after getting married, his name has changed. Correct me in the chat if you know more details of how it works over in Lithuania. And I also hope that I haven't confused Latvia and Lithuania once more. Anyway, his last name right now, it's two last names, is Zanis Karklins. So just remember those names once you hear them. It's good old Arvids again. So it looks like the players cannot agree. That means the disc will go back once more to Laffi. This gets checked in. The stall count must be quite high, and a hand block on the around throw. And first chance for Moon to get a break in this game. High release backhand over the back of the not looking defender. And I believe that was Jan Novak with the assist. And as always, I did make the mistake between Latvia and Lithuania. And Arvids indeed is from Latvia. And Zanis is not his last name, but his second first name. Therefore, thank you, Dima, and I apologize once more. But that is what we have friends for that are watching and that have your back. And if you want to get involved as well and talk a bit of smack in the chat, just like a relative on of Ben Ort, then feel free to join the chat at the Solid Sports website. So a first break for Mooncatchers, closing up the gap a little bit. The score 5-3 for La Fotta. Can they do it again? Is the D-line pumped, and can they get two in a row? It would certainly be a bit more helpful to put pressure on the Italians while they're still in this first half. The disc lands all the way in the far corner of the actual field, not even the ultimate field. And I'm getting all sorts of helpful information. Ben Ort's father is watching. So another second generation player, this time on the side of Moon. Fotta. Looking for a reset. Quick continuation. Wind up. Wide open players all over the field, and clearly that's a result of an earlier call that not everyone on the field has heard. And the disc will definitely go back there. The players using the timeout to adjust their technical equipment. Casanelli will keep the disc. Wide step around to get the disc all the way to the other side of the field. Luffy being really commanding for the Italian offense, but we see an exchange of a player on the Moon D line. I think Arvids has stepped in. Lovely inside put. Luffy puts his body on the ground, but gets up immediately to follow up with a deep shot. It's hanging. And while the Italian receiver gets up early, it will be Moon who come down with it. And they have another break chance. And once more, the disc will go back. Potentially on a travel call. And a deep shot for Moon. Easy score, just what they needed. They have taken one out of the Italian playbook. No need to have a lot of passes if you have a wide open option in the end zone and you're the D-line and you just want to score and push it and attack the end zone aggressively. Second break in a row for Moon. That must have been some pump up talk during the timeout, because they have come out streaming. Fotta now with only one break on the Belgians. So hopefully the audience watching at home and the players spectating on the sideline will get to witness another one of these tight matchups between these two teams. Always fun to watch, to learn from the best. La Fotta, of course, being the driving force of Elite Ultimate in the Open Division at the European and world level for many, many years now, whereas the Mooncatchers, slightly, I would call them more of newcomers, so to speak. But in any case, they've entered the international scene in a great fashion, starting, of course, among other tournaments with their WCC appearance 2 years ago. Yonkers on the far sideline. Through the Italian poached, sorry, that is Bologna. Never mind. Big put into the end zone, wide open receiver. There must have been some confusion on the defense. And the Italians sliced through the defense like a knife through butter and jump off once more to 6-4. So Casanelli to Mate for the last score. Thank you, Ted. And here's another big pull out of Bologna. It rolls, but is stopped. And Yonkers almost manages to get it all the way to the break mark, but goes backwards eventually. He gets it again on the further side of the field. More handler action. Still faking the big ripper backhand. Doesn't take it. Bontemps centering the disc. I would almost claim that he prefers to receive the disc in the end zone rather than taking any difficult throws himself. Blasman centers to Ort. Moon managing to move the disc quickly horizontally. Waiting for the right angle of attack. Blasman. Quick dish into the front of the end zone. Yonkers now looking for the final pass. He gets it in the hands of Tom Blasman. Lovely piece of offense from Moon. Tom Blasman, only 21 years of age, but 189 centimeters. You can do what you want on the field, even play for one of the best teams in Europe and be an incremental part of their O-line. So in the background, the flags are showing that Belgium is being true to the rumors and is as windy as always. Great practice nonetheless for all the teams participating this weekend. EUCF will indeed take place in Belgium once more this year at the end of September. And so far, it looks like it can be anybody's trophy this year. So many tight games. And while we're at it, spoiler alert, some more results from the other surrounding games. Alba losing to Chevron 8-5. As of now, Wall City only 1 point away from Jet Set 7-6. Clapham winning over Gentle 7-5. But here's Bologna working the disc upfield. Santucci goes to Casanelli. And a big layout block from Moon, just what they needed. That is, not sure if the number is right. Don't seem to have it here on my roster. In any case, Moon will go the other way, and the D-line has already proven that they can score even against the best of the best on the La Fotta O-line. This time they take a bit of more of a patient approach. And of course, as I say that, a high disc goes into the end zone. And it is brought down expertly. Lovely sky jump, sky brought down. Whatever the right words are, I am just in awe how well that looked. And that's another break for Moon as they managed to even out the score. Impressive. And of course, a huge shout out to Crisafulli. My bad. No. Never mind. Excellent stuff from Moon. And now it's Bologna's time to take the timeout, which also means a short break for myself, checking out. And as we come out of the second timeout of the game, I stand corrected once more. Crisafulli was indeed the person who got the last D for Mooncatchers, though. And I, of course, got confused when I saw an Italian name, thinking I made a mistake. But Crisafulli from Rimini originally is indeed a Mooncatchers player, and the one who started off the last break point for the Belgians, as they managed to even out the score almost completely. Huge pull to the back of the end zone. Great grab by Rosi. And it seems like once the Italians break through the first wall of Moon players, they seem to move the disc with a lot of ease. And before I even managed to say that quickly enough in English, the last throw into the end zone is too much of a zipper. It is downwind, and it completely misses the intended receiver. And here is the Mooncatchers D-line doing what they do best, apparently, which is score breaks. Here's the first nice gainer, followed up by a deep shot that's hanging. 3 players underneath it. It's 3 defenders. Can they get in the way? And they do. And as anticipated, with such a tight squeeze, there will be a foul called and a bit of a discussion. I see Tognetti involved. Not sure who it is on the Moon side, but we see Müller getting involved as the Spirit captain. And it looks like it was Dan Desmarais who tried to bring down the disc in between the 2 Italian defenders. They'll make a nice replay for us of that sky. Always love people touching each other's shoulders, and other body parts to show exactly what happened at that moment, and bringing back a little bit of that good old camaraderie that was so common back when everyone knew everyone in the Ultimate community. In the background, we see the women's, actually, I think it might be the mixed division getting ready for their next slot. If you haven't noticed so far, this event hosts the top 8 teams from each division, open, women, and mixed. Of course, the mixed division might be of big interest because there have been no tournaments since the spring tour that would shuffle up the ranking a little bit. So make sure to tune in into Ravi's show In and Out this Monday to learn about everything that's new in the EUCS system. And it looks like the call has been resolved. And we have Bologna back with the disc. They move horizontally across the field through the break side. A continuation, knocked away by the defender, but not enough, still collected. Lots of open players once more. Bit of contact. Venturoli ends up on the ground. And a self-check will bring the disc back into play. Last third of the field. La Fotta. Knocking on the doorstep. Great run through. Big wind up by Laffi. There is the reset from Gasparini. They do not take it. They go for the end zone instead. And it will be thrown out of bounds on a high stall situation. But there seems to be a bit more discussion. Once more, we see Mathieu Müller getting involved, most probably as the Spirit captain for Moon. And I must say, I really like the early involvement of the Spirit captains, if that's something that the teams have agreed upon, or if they feel like it is useful in order to speed up discussions or keep them more calm and efficient based on previous experience with a certain team. It is exactly what they have been established for. So really using the Spirit circles and the Spirit captains effectively to communicate and address all issues or pointers that the teams might have against or for each other really helps to keep Elite Ultimate referee free and full of high spirit as well as athleticism. Or maybe they just needed a bit of a breather, honestly. With this wind and so many games to play this weekend, who can blame them? So it looks like the disc will go back to Luffy. And they get it moving quickly to avoid the stall out once more. Great block! And the Mooncatchers defender makes sure that it is also snatched out of the air. No more second chances for La Fotta. And once more, Moon goes the other way. They can get it here. And they might as well with this huge backhand ripper into the end zone. Can the defense get there on time? Can they keep their feet in? They do! That's a break for Mooncatchers. They run onto the field in celebration and they regain lead in this game once more after being down 4-1. That is devastating for the Italians. And some incredible pressure from Mooncatchers. We see the Italians walking off the field, head hanging a bit low, or definitely a bit lower than you would expect, given that the point difference is not too bad. But when they realize how big of an advantage they have just lost, it's quite understandable. But in any case, it is my personal opinion that the mental game is what wins these top-notch elite matches and elite tournaments, where all the athletes, all the sports people are at such high level and doing everything they possibly can to be ready physically and tactically. I think it really is the mental game that does make the difference. And it is not just the mental game of the individual players, but also it's about the energy of the entire team itself. So a crucial moment in this game, the Italians find themselves on upwind offense. And try to go through for the break side. Nice zippy forehand. They do get it off, give and go. No deep continuation though. So they do what they do best and move the disc sideways. Simonazzi into the middle. Deep shot. This time it looks like it's hanging perfectly. And that's for the score to a wide open player. The wing unable to get there on time. An important hold for La Fotta. And just like that, they bring back the Moon O-line, which was struggling so much at the start of this game. And we'll have to see if they have managed to compose themselves. And they're ready to take this Galaxy point home. And a smart use of a timeout. They take one once more to make sure that whoever takes this half will get the better mental start into the second half of this game. So I will take a little breather behind the mic here. And after the timeout, we are into the Galaxy point and the last point of the first half. Mooncatchers with a slight advantage of starting it on 0, but we've said it before that the Mooncatchers have not done that great on offense in this first half. Here's Yonkers. Looking to bring this one in quickly. Layout bid. Blasman doesn't hold on to the disc, and La Fotta go the other way. Dognetti didn't get the disc. And now on the far sideline, La Fotta not worried to take the extra pass. Simonazzi, big gainer. And a wide open receiver in the end zone. Giuliani with the score for La Fotta. They take the half. 8-7 of the Mooncatchers. What an exciting half. Didn't look like it at all when La Fotta went 4-1 at the start. But here we are with a halftime break. Let's see what the second half brings. Checking out for now is Rachel Doshnerova, your unprofessional, semi-professional. Welcome back to the second half of this Pool B pool game between Mooncatchers from Brussels and La Fotta from Bologna. The Italians have started off the first half in a steaming fashion, going up 4-1 over Moon. But then the Moon D-line really put on their jets and came back with a couple of breaks of their own. And here we are, starting the second half. La Fotta, despite starting on defense in the Galaxy point, managed to get the D, put on enough pressure on the Moon O-line, which is now in quite a difficult spot mentally, I believe, for the second half. But they have been in worse, and they will have to do their best to come up with a recipe against the tough Italian defense. They will start on 0 anyway in this second half, and the pull lands out of bounds. Yonkers walks to the winds up, goes through the break side, but that's a high release throw, and that is not an anticipated start for Moon. Italians. Collect the disc on the sideline. And start us off with a nice hammer. Upwind, no problem. Completely changing the angle of attack. Simonazzi. Back into the middle goes Bologna. Lots of cuts open, but they just want the deep look. There were 3 players attacking the same space, and they are forced to go really wide across. Barsasi clearly disappointed about the way that worked out, and here's Moon with a deep shot straight into the end zone. I think Barsasi, instead of being a bit annoyed with his teammates and the cuts they were making, should have focused a bit more on the defense, which eventually gave Moon a somewhat easy score, but still not as clean as they would have hoped for anyway. So we're tied at 8, and at this stage it could really be anybody's game. In any case, let us know your tips and thoughts on this game. Who's gonna take the win this time? Join us in the live Solid Sport chat. Thank you everyone for watching. Saying hi to Ian, to Ireland, Ravi, the podcast master himself, tuning in as well. We are doing the best to deliver the right score to you. If you're unsure, there's always the EUCS schedule.ultimatefederation.eu page where you can follow the live scoring, which is what I'm doing myself. As La Fotta took the half 8-7, we are now tied at 8 as the Italians receive the pull. Here's again the sagging defense. Pochi looks trying to force Bologna to the sideline, setting the Belgians for a better chance to force a turnover. Simonazzi getting every second disc for the Italian offense. He doesn't get it this time though. Gasperini with a wide pivot. Nice quick exchange. One would almost think of motion offense, but really it's just good handler work. And here's the continuation into the end zone based on the fluffy hair I'm seeing. I would say it's Mate. Once more, he's had a score in this game previously for sure. But it looks like the disc will go back to Laffi on a pick, most likely. In the other games, once more a spoiler alert. Chevron winning over Alba 13-8. Clapham beating Gentle 13-7, and Wall City currently 12-9 over Jet Set. The players set up on the field once more. Bologna with a perfect opportunity to set their end zone play. And a violation called immediately. Not too many players have gotten used to the fact that it should be closed fists on that hand signals, including myself, I must say. But the disc gets tapped in once more. Laffi. to Simonazzi. That's a high disc. Defense almost gets there, but that's an open player, and that is indeed Gais Mate, who will be called out on that layout. And lots of sideline opinions, obviously. And no doubt about it, it was a horizontal jump where the body landed half in and half out, I'd say. So almost impossible to say without a replay what actually landed where. And it looks like Mooncatchers is going to call it in. So we will just trust the players on making or taking the best decision based on what they have seen. You can rewind your stream anyway and rewatch that yourself, analyze it all you want, express your opinion in the live chat, but that's nothing that could change the outcome of the play as Moon slowly make their way over to the other side and their O-line is on once more. Anyway, I am loving the weather in Belgium. It is so sunny and bright. Also loving the high contrast on these jerseys, making my life so much easier, not being a veteran commentator on the Open Division and also taking a break last year from commentating altogether. So thank you, both teams, for helping me give a somewhat relevant commentary to your game. And thank you for making it nice and tight. That is something every spectator, even the least interested one, will always appreciate. Pull, walk to the front cone of the end zone. Yonkers sideways to Bontemps. Thinks about the hammer, but not really. Ushinsky. Tightly marked by Gatti. Break option not there, a bit of a sliding defensive effort. Deep shot goes up. It's a backhand throw. No one knows if it was completed or not, but it looks like it resulted in a turnover given the pace of walking that the rest of the players on the field are opting for right now. So once more, an unforced error by Mooncatchers. The O-line really not clicking at all as well as it did last weekend at Tom's. But as long as they get it back, who am I to tell you that a turnover is a bad thing? Bologna going upwind, trying to capitalize on that errant huck from Ort, but a mistake, unforced mistake from the hands of Tognetti, I believe. Blasman now, trying to rectify the last error. Figure out the offense. Arvids Karklinks. Lefty backhand into the space for Yonkers. There must have been some eye communication happening, but the defenders very well positioned their body in the way. And the Italians now almost on the halfway line. Looking for the upline, not take, forced to go backwards. Great swing. They set up once more in this horizontal line. All three players running towards the disc. Venturoli. Quick movement. Tognetti winds up into the end zone, but that one too far once again. Yeah, the disc goes to the floor. I think it was impossible to keep it in bounds. We also see a signal for injury. No, it was just raising up the hands in despair. Frustration, maybe. And another big lefty huck. Defense, of course, with a better position, gets there on time. And we see some more frustration from the Belgians. This is not what they have planned for when the O-line went on. We really see them struggling visibly. They have gotten the disc back twice already, but they will need to do it once more. Dognetti picking up the disc for Bologna. And another smart choice from the Bologna D-line. They take a timeout as they try to figure out the best way of approaching this upwind offense. Quick break in the commentary booth, aka my living room. (9-8) currently the score between La Fotta from Bologna and Mooncatchers from Brussels, Belgium in this Pool B game. Coming out of the timeout, the Italians have the disc, looking to break once more the not as precise and not as impressive as usual of an O-line of Moon. Less than 10 minutes on the clock, I believe, in this game. And the score still quite low as opposed to the other games being played out. But I won't spoil anything as a big forehand shot goes up into the end zone. Two players underneath it. He grab it at the same time. Who's had it first? There will be another discussion. I think the Italian player did not like that at all. He is holding on to his ankle. And we see players running towards him. Probably an awkward landing out of that sky. From the very, very far perspective that I've had, it looked like they have both grabbed onto the disc at the same time. So we will have to see how it's resolved right now. It looks like it was Benjamin Ort and Giuliani in the end zone there, going for the same disc. And it seems all better now. He's up on his feet, being walked off the field with the assistance of his teammates as well as opponents. Another great example of spirit of the game, sportsmanship in our sport. Lovely to see at the elite level. And it looks like the goal will stand for La Fotta. And that would mean I was maybe correct in the assumption that the grab was made at the same time by both players, where the player on offense is always the one to be assuming to have the disc first, according to the rules. So that is another break for the Bologna D-line. And another not so great performance by the Moon O-line. So still some cleaning up to do for Moon. I've already mentioned that they've had the first game against Chevron and only took it on Universe. Of course, I'm sure they would be more than happy to take a win on Universe against La Fotta. And if you can't see the rewind control on the stream, I think it might be a case of the function might only be available once the stream is finished. Not sure. You'll have to figure it out yourself. I'm sure we will all get more and more familiar with the Solid Sport platform, with the remote commentary as well. Trying to create the atmosphere that is on the pitch from the comfort of your home. Pull lands out of bounds. And Jonkers, of course, this is Ben, the younger of the two Jonkers brothers, walks it to the break mark. Two defenders on him. Dognetti sagging off of Blasman to prevent any easy passes to the open side. They do happen anyway. Blasman back to Jonkers on the far side. Inside throw. Now that's a nice, clean bit of offense for Mooncatchers. Of course, I don't want to curse them. Two Mooncatchers go for the grab. Get it eventually. Knock it on the doorstep now. Where is the last open person? Where is the last pass? Mueller. Game stoppage. Pick called. Tries to step around, goes for the backhand into the open side. Lovely collection in the end zone. Finally a clean hold. And things are looking up for Moon. They're staying within one. So the two other games, or there's three other games in the open division currently taking place at the same time. Two of them have already finished. And now it's time to mute if you want to watch them later. Chevron Action Flash beating Alba 15-9 and Wall City winning over Jet Set 15-11. Clapham and Gentle still battling it out, but Clapham with quite a point difference. And I think they'll be looking to seal the deal within the next few minutes anyway. So it looks like the scoreboard is still a bit confusing. I believe it should be 10-9 right now for the Italians. In any case, just don't worry about the score. It is tight and we play for every point in a ranking game. Bologna looking for a reset. Gets it in the likes of Luffy. Casanelli centers to Luffy. Now through the middle. Lovely opening of a cut by Gasperini. Now knocking on the doorstep is Trombetti. Big wind up. Gasperini raising his arms to get the disc, and a contested grab. I think the receiver got up a bit too early, thinking that the defender is right on him. And here is the infamous Mooncatchers D-line that did so well to bring the team back in the first half, scoring several breaks in a row, and they will be looking to make a move this late in the game, trying to surprise their opponent the way they did in the first half. They're already past the first half of the field anyway. Looking for a continuation. Time is gone. And the disc will go back on a pick call. So if Moon score here, we'll go to Universe. If they don't, it should be game to 12. D-line handler set working very well to help the downfield generate opportunities in the open spaces, be it the open side or the break side. And that's a high put to a wide open receiver straight into the hands of defense. And Bologna very much looking to get this one. They wind up Casanelli, looking for open teammates for a little give and go with Gasperini. Quick motion offense into the end zone. Score by Bologna. They go up 11-9. This late in the game, the time is apparently over based on people giving me notes from on site. And Moon would have to score quite a few in a row. We know their D-line can do it, but can their O-line keep them in the game? That is the question. Not quite $1 million one, given this is just pool play. And both of these teams surely expected to go high in this tournament, or any other tournament for that matter in this season. They were just in the final last weekend at Tom's Tourney. Bologna making a huge comeback towards the end of the game and taking the win on Universe. Here they could win quite more comfortably, but it ain't over till it's over. First potential game point. And a pull goes up. Great rundown by the defenders. Props to Comirato getting there on time. We see some poaches on the unders. If not poaches, then a bit of a zony look. Using the wind to their advantage. Here's Yonkers. Looking for the give and go. A bit of a travel from Mueller there. But nothing called. Mooncatchers a bit more comfortable maybe. Looking for the open players in this junk defense. Not necessarily having to run one-on-one all the time. Big open pass to Bontemps. Oh, and they jump it in just like that. O-line finally breaks the curse and gets a clean halt once more. That was Blasman with the score for Mooncatchers. They stay in the game. They have done their job at the time where they needed to do it the most. And now they can let their D-line in to potentially finish off Bologna. But then again, it is still Bologna who is only 1 point away from taking an important win in the pool game. So first potential game point averted. Well past the game time. Fotta still leading in this game, 11-10 over Mooncatchers. And here comes the real battle. Who is it going to be? The Italian O-line or the Belgian D-line? The disc high in the sky once more. Almost a perfect put, but the disc rolls out the back of the end zone. Horizontal stack for Bologna. Looks like tight match D from Mooncatchers. Luffy from the brick mark. Finds Trombetti. Offhand reset to Luffy. And a throw exactly in the opposite direction that the player was actually running. Italians find themselves on defense, and here is the aggressive Moon D-line. Can they get the break? They do need two more, but one comes first before the other. A foul called from Luffy, who got in the way of the throw. Moon through the break side. Arvids, lefty forehand over the shoulder of his mark, straight into the end zone for the score, and the Mooncatchers D-line does it once more. They help to keep the team in the game where there are slight deficiencies on attack. They make up for them more than enough on the defensive effort, and we all know that it's so much easier to be the underdog and just fire for the end zone if you need to. And that's exactly what Moon did. And as promised, we bring you the top elite, greatest, tightest action in European Ultimate. And ahead of us, we have a universe point. So we've been on about past results among these teams. The last out of the last 5 games, there was a universe point at the EUCF semis. Moon took that win 14-13. Same at Spring Tour this year, 13-12 in the crossover games, or rather placement games, sorry. And at Tom's, Fotta won on universe despite starting on defense. So let's see how this one plays out. Is it even fun for them? Does it even matter? It's either one or the other. You get it this time, we get it next time. Of course, I'm just kidding. It is just excellent to see how even the level is in these elite teams. And I'm not just talking about the open division. If you check out the results for women's, it has been Great performances all across the board, and it is lovely to see how many players have improved and risen really to the opportunity to play top tournaments. But back to this universe point, lots of sideline support. Bologna on offense, looking to reset. A foul on the mark. We see a signal for a bit of pushing, I believe. This gets tapped back in. Violation or a pick call. Something on the field anyway, cooling the sidelines down a little bit. And they get loud again, keeping up the energy. And here we are, tight match D. Another stoppage. Tognetti signals a break in the game. And there will be an injury sub. I think a bit too much pressure on the defense. Player on the ground holding on to his ankle will be carried off the field. Anyway, Bologna still in possession here on Universe. You can write your bets for turnovers in this point in the live chat. I believe there's many of you following this exciting matchup. Hopefully not the last in this tournament of these top two elite teams. Tognetti, this gets tapped in. He's signaling all over the place or where he wants the cuts. Simonazzi all the way to the other sideline. Through the middle. Almost a heads-up D from Moon. Gasperini sideways. Last third of the field. Overhead shot. Overshot or else dropped in the end zone by Bologna. And here's a chance for Moon to take this game after being 4-1 down, after losing the Galaxy point, after getting losing the disc several times and being broken by the Italian D-line in the second half. Here they are with a chance to take the pool game. Quick cuts. Backhand to the forehand side. Another gainer, Arvids. Turns around, goes to Arters. Forehand continuation down the sideline. Ort. Finds Demarais. And here's a shot into the end zone, collected! And that is Mooncatchers' victory, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. What a D-line and what a score and what a way to take this game back. They repay the Italians from last weekend with interest. Pool B is for the taking now. Not really. It has been taken. It has been claimed by the Belgians from Brussels. Mooncatchers won over Bologna La Fotta BFD, or whatever the shortcut is. Thank you everyone for watching. It looks like no hard feelings there. These two teams know way too well that there will be a rematch soon enough, be it at this tournament or the other ones that are coming your way this season still. Ranking is decided for this one. Thank you for watching. Thank you for engaging in the live chat. There is a mixed round of games coming up right now. My name is Rachel Toshnerova. I am your semi-professional, unprofessional, semi-professional. I get lost in the words. In any case, I am checking out for now and see you on the other side.